It was just past midnight when the shrill ringing of my phone pierced the stillness of the lakeside night. I groggily answered, only to hear the calm, professional voice of Sheriff Daniels on the other end. "Sir, we received a 911 call. Someone is claiming you're trespassing on HOA property at your cabin," he said. I blinked. Trespassing? On my own cabin? The caller, of course, was Karen Simmons, the HOA president infamous for turning every minor inconvenience into a personal crusade. Apparently, she had taken it upon herself to escalate her usual petty harassment into a full-blown emergency. I sighed, already awake now. "Sheriff, that cabin isn't just mine legally. It's part of a much larger property I own. In fact, I own all the surrounding lands in this county. Karen has no jurisdiction here." By the time I reached the porch, flashlights were bobbing across the treeline. Karen was standing there, waving her phone and shouting, "You need to leave immediately. You're violating HOA rules." Her confidence was palpable, or at least it had been until she realized I wasn't backing down. I stepped forward calmly. "Karen, I own this property, the surrounding land, and yes, the county itself. You're welcome to leave, or you can continue making calls that won't have any legal effect." The sheriff's deputies arrived, shaking their heads at the absurdity. Karen launched into her usual tirade about bylaws, violations, and enforcement authority, clearly expecting compliance. Instead, she was met with blank stares and polite murmurs from the officers, who had just confirmed the property records I handed over. Every inch of the land she claimed to oversee legally belonged to me. Her face went through a gamut of emotions: indignation, disbelief, confusion, and finally, sheer panic. She realized that her 911 call had not summoned power. It had only summoned confirmation that she had overstepped spectacularly. The HOA president had assumed authority far beyond her reach, only to find herself completely powerless. Neighbors later described the scene in whispers: Karen screaming into her phone, deputies calmly reviewing deeds, and me standing on my porch, coffee in hand, utterly composed. The irony was delicious. An HOA president attempting to enforce rules on a property that extended beyond her comprehension. Confronted by a calm truth she could neither dispute nor ignore. By the time Karen finally retreated, muttering about community standards and rules enforcement, the lake had returned to serenity. The cabin, the surrounding lands, and indeed the county itself remained under my ownership. A quiet yet profound reminder that real authority doesn't come from titles, clout, or phone calls. It comes from legality, preparation, and awareness. Sitting back on the porch, I watched the moonlight shimmer across the lake. Karen's antics had failed spectacularly, leaving her humiliated and cautious for the foreseeable future. The lake remained peaceful, the cabin secure, and the absurdity of human overreach had been resolved with calm authority and unassailable facts. The moral was simple: don't assume power where it doesn't exist, and never underestimate someone who knows exactly what they own. Karen had learned that lesson the hard way, and the lake cabin, along with the county, stood unchallenged.